Today we're going to find out if Aldi and Costco wines are any good. We're doing a $10 wine and a $14 wine from Costco, and we're going to do it as a blind test. So let's see. I'm Jason.
And I'm Trent, and we're from The Wind Up. We're here to provide you unfiltered, unapologetically unprofessional wine journey. And we have a saying here.
Our saying is drink more, try more, learn more. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And so, Trent, what have you been thinking about this week?
So the thoughts this week is, I don't know, as we've been doing this podcast more and more, and then I've been Googling this, that, and the other around wine, all the kind of algorithms around social media has been really doing its job, and it's been kind of promoting all these wine deals and wine experiences and wine this and wine that to me.
Yep.
And I've been flicking that onto you and go, hey, Jace, why don't you try this? Or why don't we go to this? And often the answer is,
no, I have no money.
I have no money. Exactly. So cost of living. So I started to do a bit more research again around other cheap wine buying tips. So I thought I'd just share this with you, and maybe it's a good way for us to still kind of invest in our passion, but within the constraints of our budget.
Sounds good.
First one, explore the world. Try lesser known grape varieties and lesser known areas. So example, think about Picpoul from France.
What is that?
Exactly.
Never even heard of it. Okay, yes.
Also, there's another one called Negramaro from Puglia, which is like southeastern Italy. Another one's also South African Chenin Blanc as well, which you can get on really good prices. So start to explore. Don't just drink all your Bordeaux's and Burgundies all the time, or your Granges and Saint Henri's. Try something outside of that kind of comfort zone, Jace.
And it'll be cheaper. I like it. Cheaper. Anything cheaper, I'm interested.
Other ones, I don't know, could be a bit controversial, but wines in Tetra Paks. So obviously, Tetra Paks
What's
means
that
like
Tetra Pak?
Tetra Pak means the kind of box wine.
Ah, yes. People have been flicking me this as well. Yeah, okay.
Because a lot of the cost in wine is around packaging or the bottles, right?
Yeah.
I think the cost in a Tetra Pak is far less than the cost of glass, cork, and everything around it. So you can still maybe get some good wines in a box. We still maybe need to explore more. We tried some before.
That's a cask wine, isn't it? That's what it's a goon bag that we're talking about.
No, it's just wine in a different packaging. It's like, what's that thing? Sheep in something clothing or something like that? Is that a saying?
Yes, that's a saying. Yeah, that's a saying. A wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what it is.
Something like that. Next one. Shop local.
Yep.
Okay. So don't say avoid. Try looking at some of your local wine shops and using the experts' expertise in your local wine shops. Tell them, I have a budget. I only can spend.
I'm cheap. Is that
I'm cheap? No, because even they're on their own budgets as well, and they deal with thousands of people, or hundreds of people, and then they're like that. That's what they're paid to do, right?
Yeah.
Give them a challenge. I only got $20,
and
I'm having this for dinner tonight, or I got this hot date. I've only got $20 to spend, but I still want to try and impress her or impress him.
Yeah.
What do I buy? Give them that challenge. Use them to try and use their expertise and also give you something good and explore. Again, could be tying into the first point about exploring the world and trying different wines.
Yes.
That'd be good value for money. Next one, avoid the wine trends. Much like fashion, I know that you're into your Gucci and LV and whatever's
more from anything from Bess and Less is my kind of thing. Yeah.
But avoid the wine fashions, wine trends.
Yes.
I know there's always trends around, everyone's doing Burgundy Pinots, everyone's doing Bordeaux, everyone's doing maybe something else, trying to avoid the wine trend. I know it's hard because we always get, again, push things into our face, so we must try that. We're going to explore outside the norm.
Off the beaten path. Yeah.
Off the beaten path, exactly. Next point, explore entry-level wines from good producers. So
that's a good point.
Often, you have good producers there that have the top-level wine, the Grange, right? Using an example. And often there's also other wines within its portfolio that you can try.
Yeah.
Ones that are a bit more accessible. The $20, $30 type of wines, that's still quite good quality for the price that you're paying.
I like the Max the Max series wines from Penfolds.
Pretty good, right?
They're like
Even-
20, 25
Even
bucks.
the ones, the Kununga Hills and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
Apparently they're going to be quite good. And they're like sub $10,
Mm.
right? Good value for money.
Yes.
You don't have to have a Saint Henri Grange every single day, your 707s. You could also get something quite different,
Yes.
quite cheaper, and good value. So
Good tip.
good tip.
I like it.
Good tip. So that also applies the same with the big Bordeaux chateaus as well. There's always like the first wine, also the second wine, and third
Yeah.
wines, etc. So again, you can still drink Bordeaux from the good producers. Just say it's not their primary wine or the best wine. Next one, consider wine club memberships. I know that we were tempted in the Good Food and Wine around
Wine selector.
wine selectors,
Yeah.
right? So obviously it's a bit of an investment. I know they're trying to say that there's no cancellation fee, but that could be an option as well, right? They do have the advantages of bulk buying, economies of scale to get better prices if you're willing to kind of commit towards that, getting those 6 bottles of wine, good range from Australia. And there's also many other kind of wine memberships out there as well. They can also try. Maybe we can do as a partnership.
The wine selector ones were actually quite nice when we tasted it.
It
so,
was,
yeah,
it was, but maybe we're just a bit tight at that point in time that we just didn't do it.
That's true. That's true.
And the other one is buy wine in bulk. Buy more, save more. We should probably include that into our slogan as well.
Well, that kind of ties into what you were saying in a previous episode about having a wine buddy. You can buy more together.
Exactly. There's always going to be, buy the case is always going to be cheaper than buying by the bottle. You buy, well, maybe we can negotiate with the local liquor store as well. I want to buy, 4 of these instead of the one. I want to buy 6 or 8 of these ones instead of the one. Can give me a better price.
Yeah.
Because they're not bound by retail pricing, a lot more control over the price that they're kind of giving off. Maybe you can get a better value for it, you know. Last one that kind of just popped into my mind from your recent trip to Costco was visit Costco for some great bargains.
Yes.
The bargain that you got was
a Yering 2017 dry red number 1. And I think I bought that in a previous episode for $120, and this was for $90. So it was a good bargain.
$30 cheaper. So that was a bargain. So heaps of good tips for that, Jason. So
I'm so happy that you said those, because I'm telling you, my wallet is bare after starting this podcast. There's so many wines to buy. So really good tips. And actually, I had a few more. So maybe we'll make this part 1 of tips on how to spend frugally on wine but still enjoy it. Well, part 2 will come soon.
What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts were around Aldi and Costco, and I have to be honest, I've bought quite a few wines from Aldi before this podcast, and what attracted me was the price point. They are quite good value, the dollar spend. And I didn't realize, because I don't visit Costco as often, but Costco also have quite good price points with quite decent quality in terms of wine. So I wanted to find out a bit more about their wine strategies. And so that's what I want to talk about, that both of them have a similar approach in terms of cheap but good quality wines, but they tailor it differently. They have slightly different strategies for selling those wines. So let's talk about Costco first.
Yeah.
Do you go to Costco very often?
Once or twice in my life.
Once or twice in your life. So that's not very often. and I wasn't going to Costco for the wines previously.
Yeah.
But
pizzas?
They are pizzas and the cheap food. But they're actually the US's largest seller of wine.
Wow.
So in the US, everyone's going to Costco to grab theirs. And they've got 3 distinct points that they try to do. And I noticed it in Australia. One you already talked about. They have quite well-known and quite good quality wines from like Yering, Penfolds, lots of Penfolds in there, and they sell it at a discounted rate. So, that kind of ties into Costco's model. If you buy a lot, you can get a good price. So that kind of hooks you in. I'm going to go visit Costco more often to get those cheaper wines. The other one that they have is that they have their own signature brand. So they have a brand known as the Kirkland Signature Series.
Yeah.
And it's Costco's specific brand of their wines from different wineries. And what they do is they're able to produce low cost but high quality wineries by having good relationships with their partners and suppliers and distributors. Because if you think about Costco, a lot of their products are actually sold from high-end manufacturers, Duracell, Starbucks, Huggies.
Yeah.
They manufacture the product, rebrand it as something from Costco.
Yeah.
So it's good quality.
Yeah.
It's just at a cheaper price point. They do the same things with wine.
Wow.
So you can actually get a $13 Bordeaux. You can get a $40 Barolo.
Yeah.
For quite cheap. And that's because they have a great relationship with their Italian distributor to kind of pick those wines.
But then how do you know what they're married towards? So like, how do you know what, like that Bordeaux is actually from what producer? Do you know?
It doesn't say actually, you know the distributor. I don't know if you can link it back to which winery there is. I think some of them online, from what I could tell, you could actually find the information. I don't know if they have them for all.
Yeah, I feel sometimes you have to be in the know because, our mate Dom, who's also in the was in the kind of food and beverage distribution business as well. And go to Costco. It's exactly the same thing, but it's just rebranded. But he kind of knew because it had connections and understood the back workings behind it. But for wines, I don't know. Like, it's still a bit of hit and miss unless you know that.
You have to do a bit of research.
I know.
That's what it is. So that's kind of their strategy. They have their own brand and they have these good products that they're bringing in at lower price points. Aldi's kind of a bit different. So they don't have their own signature brand, but their focus is always on three things: customer satisfaction, cheap wine for good value, and medals. I don't know if you see Aldi promotions. If you look at their catalog, it's always about the medals. And they're trying to use that as a way to sell that they've got good quality. So what Aldi do is they engage wineries to provide exclusive brands for Aldi. They're not one specific brand. There's multiple different brands.
Yeah.
And you'll only get them at Aldi, or they'll get a producer, a winery, and they'll have one exclusive wine range only for Aldi. And so that's how they lock in the quality because they've got this exclusivity. And then the price point, this was an interesting one. I got to read this from the sales director, Jason Bauer. He's the buyer director for wines and sparkling. In terms of price, they have a golden rule. A $10 wine at Aldi should drink like a standard $20 to $25 wine to ensure the customer gets a good experience. So they're kind of using that as a guiding principle. Yeah. To ensure that even if it's cheap,
a mission statement.
That's it. People want to come back and go, you know what, that was worth more than what it actually cost.
Yeah.
And I think it's working. Like if you look at the CanStar Blue customer satisfaction ratings, they're actually beating Dan Murphy's. They're beating Liquorland, all of the other quite focused and targeted sellers. Aldi's topping them. So I wanted to share that and give you a bit of insight into why their strategies are working, and to give a bit more confidence around the quality of the wine that are coming through.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know.
And so let's go to wine of the week. Trent, what have you been drinking?
What have I been drinking? So the other day did some green prawns with butter and garlic. So I kind of fried them off with a great bit of sauce with it as well. And then I paired that with a 2019 Clairault Chardonnay.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You remember that one? So I had that kind of roundness with a touch of kind of the zing with the acidity coming through. Fruits, white fruits, peaches, nectarine. Had the kind of body and roundness, went perfectly with the seafood as well. Very delicious. 7 out of 10 corkscrews for me.
So let's get to the topic for today, which I'm super excited about because, to be honest, when I thought about setting up this podcast, I wanted to make sure we'd have wines that are accessible at a good price point, and I really wanted to take away any snobbery around wine. Yeah. So today we are going to try wines from Aldi and Costco and see if they're any good. We've got two wines. There's a $10 wine and a $14 wine, and we're actually going to do a blind taste on them. Just to say there's no influence of branding or anything like that, and just purely focus on the quality. Mm-hmm. And then we'll do the reveal and see if the quality is there. And so in front of us, we've got two reds that look very similar. I can't tell which one is which, but they're labeled A and B. And what we're going to do is just go through the sight, smell, taste for both, give them a corkscrew rating, And then at the end, we'll do the reveal and we'll see, are they actually any
So
good?
we're just picking which one we prefer. We're trying to pick which grape and which year, or what are we trying to do?
No, we're just talking about
Okay.
give them a rating, and the rating will tell if it's good quality. We
Okay.
can try and pick it as well just for fun, but let's see how we go. Let's start off with A, which we have in front of us. And if we look on the eyes, it's quite dark.
Looks very Shirazi like.
Red blackberries looks very Shiraz like. Absolutely. On the nose, what are we getting?
Smells very Shiraz like.
Dark berries. Yes. And then if we taste it,
Tastes very
tastes young.
young,
Quite fruity.
very fruit
Yeah.
forward.
Yep.
I wouldn't say big alcohol.
No, but there is something a bit harsh to the flavor.
Definitely the tannins are still quite big. Very quite dry and astringent on the tongue.
Tastes like a Shiraz to me.
Yeah, it does.
Do you think?
But does it taste like a $25 wine that's $10 or?
Well, I guess I don't dislike it. I'm not saying that is disgusting. Like if we think about the cask wine, the goon bags that we had. Remember that?
For me, it kind of tastes like a Aldi or Costco wine. I don't know.
You've put it out there already, but you haven't.
No, it tastes like one of those wines. Like it would have been more interesting if you had like a $50 or $60 wine that wasn't Aldi and Costco, and go, hang on, which one's the one that's outside of that? What do you think? Should I go into B?
I think we should do a corkscrew rating.
Corkscrew
first.
rating just on that. Okay.
Yep. I think we should, because this is about is it good quality. There is something a bit harsh about it,
I get the
even
heat
in the
from the
finish.
alcohol coming through now.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it on my face.
Yeah.
Corkscrew ratings. So, I'm not disliking it. I guess there is tannin. It's quite fruity, but there's this underlying harsh flavor that I'm getting. I don't know if you get that. Do you get that with it?
I think I know what you mean.
And I'm not enjoying that, and that's the part where it's not bad. I would give this a 6 out of 10. It's not throw it away. It's disgusting, but there's some harsh bitterness to it that I'm not enjoying. What about you?
Yeah, 6 out of 10 as well. For me, it's not as bad as those kind of goon boxes that we had before.
Yes.
It's probably no. If I was thinking Aldi and Costco, it's probably what I expect. It's drinkable.
Yes.
But it's not complex. It's not.
You're not going to go buy a case of these to share with your friends.
It's very much kind of drink now, drink easy type of thing.
That's right. Okay, so we've got 2 6s for A.
2 6s.
2 6s. Now let's move on and try B.
Yeah.
And on the eyes,
Looks exactly the
very
same.
similar.
Have you done a funny one on me? Have you poured the same wine in both glasses?
No, you know what? The other one is slightly got a brown or orange tinge on
It's
it.
not different.
But the smell,
There's more Cabernet, is it?
that's not Shiraz.
It's not Shiraz.
What are we smelling here? Still got fruit. Tastes more.
Oh, you already tasted it, is it?
No, sorry. Smells more. Like. It smells more like more lush fruits, more juicy fruits.
Juicy fruit.
And then you've had a taste. What are you tasting?
Again, the tannins are still quite big on it as well. Bigger than the first one, to be honest. The first one had a bit more, I don't know, bigger fruits, but this one, the tannins are bigger. It has
It reminds me a bit of the earthy violet flavors we were having from the Grenache we had in a previous episode.
It's not Grenache. So this is really drying. It's really drying.
The way you're talking as well. It's
trying
like
to-
you
I'm
need
trying
some
to-
water.
I'm trying to move my tongue around, but it's like stuck because it's so rough.
Rough.
Rough. I prefer this one to A.
I like the tannins on this, to be honest. But I'm. Is the tannins what's making the mouth so dry? It is a bit
It is
coarse.
dry.
It is a bit coarse, desert-like. Is that all the tannins? Or?
Yeah.
But I enjoy this. It's got a better mouthfeel to it. I think it's got more dimension in terms of flavor as well.
For me, it's like less in your face.
Yeah.
But the tannins are so drying.
It's after the first like 3 seconds that dryness kicks in, and that's when you go, oh, that's a bit harsh. But the first 3 seconds I actually quite enjoy.
Because like what I tend to do, I don't know whether it's the right way or not. It's like you drink and then I kind of move my tongue around my mouth.
Yeah.
Then it's like kind of getting stuck on the top of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because it's like sandpaper against sandpaper. It's like
Yeah. And then it's a bit too harsh.
it's a bit
It's so interesting because if I was to put in a preference, so you're right, I'd prefer this one over the earlier one that we tasted. But if I was to put a number because of the harshness, I'd almost give them both a 6 because there was still that harshness that wasn't there. If we could do halves, I'd go 6.5 versus 6.
Yeah, agree.
But I don't want to do that in this Corkscrew ratings. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So you said earlier it's not a Grenache. What do you think this is?
Feels like it's a Cabernet, I think. Cabernet. It's not a Grenache. It's not a Grenache.
Yeah, it was reminding me of Grenache, but it's not a Grenache. And so
Cabernet? No, not Cabernet. No.
I think it's time to do the reveal. We've both tasted them, and we don't know which one's from Aldi. We don't know which one's from Costco. But both of them we've given a 6. And so the first one that we tried is a Mount
Langi.
It's a Mount Langi
Ghiran. Pepper Shiraz. Pepper Shiraz.
Your mouth's so dry you can't even pronounce it.
Victorian Shiraz.
Victorian. So this is from the Grampians, and this is the bottle that we picked up from Aldi. So it's the $10 bottle. And have you had a Mount Langi before?
No, haven't.
So Mount Langi is meant to be quite a good winery, cool climate, very famous cool climate Shiraz.
Oh.
They've got bottles for like $200 in Australia. And so this was the Pepper series was a dedicated series for Aldi. And so if we open up number B, or letter B, it's a Malbec. So it's
Mendoza.
Kirkland signature Costco's Malbec.
Yeah.
And if you look at the top of the label, it actually has a rating of 90 points from James Suckling.
Yeah, okay.
So this was the $14 wine. What year is it?
It is a 2021, so still relatively quite young, hence probably like the tans are still quite big there. But I haven't had as many Malbecs as I should have. Is probably why I couldn't pick it. Another episode for us on the wind up, maybe the Malbec.
I always thought the Malbec was a bit more peppery. So let me read a bit of the notes on these, and then we can go back and think about it. So if we think about, you've got the Malbec in front of us. So Malbec's a James Suckling 90-point rated. It's 100% from Mendoza, aged 12 months in French oak barrels. And so it's a deep purple Malbec, intense fruit notes of plum and cherries, and a long, rounded finish. It displays a perfect balance of ripe fruit coupled with oak spice from 12 months of careful aging in French oak barrels.
Yeah, I think that oak spice was coming through. That kind of, the oak treatment on the Malbec kind of helped kind of round off the kind of bigness I kind of think I would get from a Malbec.
How much alcohol is it?
14% and 14%.
Okay, they're both the same.
They're both the same.
They were both quite heated. So I get the spice on it. But still, we gave it a 6 out of 10 corkscrews.
Yeah.
And then if we look at the Mount Langi Pepper Shiraz, so like I said, their Langi Shiraz is an icon in Australia. $200 a bottle.
Yeah.
It's this one's an Aldi exclusive.
Yeah.
It's glossy, light-bodied plum fruit with enough pepper to give that Grampian terroir in a light, shortish, but recognizable house-style palate. I actually didn't get much pepper.
No,
did you?
not much pepper.
And it's actually labeled a pepper series.
Yeah. it ain't what it says on the tin then, does it? Hey.
So we've done this blind to really answer the question, at least for the 2 bottles we've sampled. Are Aldi and Costco wines any good? Also, are cheaper wines any good? We gave this a 6 out of 10. What's the answer? Are they any good?
For me, you kind of got what you paid for.
Yeah.
I think you got what you paid for. Was it $10 for the
$10 for the Aldi wine
and $14
$14
for the Malbec? Like, I wouldn't be disappointed. You get what you pay for. Yeah, for that price point, you get what you pay for.
It is a good bargain.
Yeah.
I agree. Look, I think if we're giving it a 6 out of 10 rating, it's okay. It's not good. But it is a very cheap price point. So to me, if you're looking for some cheap wines, you're not trying to taste anything amazing or fantastic. You just want to have some wine with your food. Go to Aldi and Costco. Yeah. There's cheap wines. They're okay. Go grab them. But if you jump up the price a bit, you get probably to the 20, 25, so maybe $10 to $15 more. You probably get more amazing ones, and we've had quite a few on there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think to what you said, you get what you pay for. Was there any last comments you wanted to make?
No, I think the last comments is, you're paying $10, $14, but maybe use some of the tips that I brought through earlier. Maybe you still get to around that kind of price point, like low 20s, but then you're also getting a far more bang for buck for the money that you're paying as well. So
yeah,
who knows?
Use those tips. We're going to have part 2 on that very soon. And so that's us at the wind up. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know. Comment below on your thoughts on Aldi and Costco wines, or if there's any specific Aldi and Costco wines you recommend that we try. Happy to have another episode on this. But from us at the wind up, we want to say drink more, try more, learn more. Thanks all.
Thank you. Cheers.